have also taken the time to join us here this afternoon or morning or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. So thank you very much for taking the time. And if Monse, are we ready to start? Do we want to wait a little bit more, or are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
Awesome. All righty. Well, my name is Silvina Modolo, and I am the cruise sales manager for Original Group. And today's topic is going to be Temptation Caribbean Cruise setting sail February 2022. For those of us in this afternoon's presentation, if we're not familiar with the Temptation brand or the Temptation concept, I'll go over just a little bit of a review so that we are a little bit more familiar. So the Temptation experience offers a playground for grown-ups, and in this case, we will be taking that playground out to sea. We have our Temptation Cancun Resort and our Temptation Cruises, which caters to adults that are 21 and over. We offer topless optional areas when we're talking about on board. Our topless optional areas will include the pool deck, the sun deck areas, and the theme nights that we have in the evenings. If some outfits require topless pasties, body paint, by all means, we're happy to see it. We do offer more of a adventurous atmosphere. We do offer a lot of fun. We bring in our own shows, our own entertainment. We bring in our own DJs from all over the world to try and offer a little bit of variety when it comes to music. We have such a wide range of guests that join us on board from all over, from North America, Latin America, South America, from Europe. And so we try and cater to everybody's tastes when it comes to music. We know that's not an easy feat, but we do our best by hiring an eclectic group of DJs for the daytime and for the evening, so that we can all make sure that everyone's having an amazing time aboard our Temptation Caribbean Cruise. A little bit of demographic information. So our target market for the Temptation Cruise is a little bit wider range than what we have what we have listed here. I will say that on our first successful Temptation Caribbean Cruise, which sailed in 2020, we had an average age of 47 years young on board. We had clients that were just barely turning 21, and then we had some of our youngest clients that were in our 70s and 80s year young. So we have a wide range. We don't want to limit anybody. We don't ever want to hear somebody say, I'm too old to go on this Temptation Cruise. That's something we really don't want to hear. We welcome everybody who is open-minded, who is there to have a good time, who is there to enjoy a week's vacation with other adults. No kiddies, not on this cruise, just big kids having a lot of fun. So we basically want to cater to all ages, all races, cultures. We just want to make sure that our Temptation Cruise provides fun for adults who are looking to enjoy 1 week in the Caribbean with our crazy, crazy staff on board. The ship that we will be using for our Temptation Caribbean Cruise 2022 is Celebrity Summit. For those of us that are not familiar with Celebrity Summit, it is a beautiful ship. It is, I'd say, mid-size. It's got 1,100 cabins, so we'd be looking at 2,300 guests on board our Temptation Caribbean Cruise, some of our 2,300 closest family and friends on board. It was remodeled within the last couple years, and so it's actually looking really, really good. So we're very excited to be joining the summit for our Temptation Cruise. I want to show you guys a little bit of what our guests experienced on our Temptation Cruise 2022. Monse, if you can just confirm via message that the audio is working. We've had some issues in the past, so hopefully this has all been ironed out. Alrighty, so I think it was the volume might have been in and out a little bit there, so we do apologize for not being able to hear the music to that video. But I think the important thing also is for you guys to see the video to see what our guests got to enjoy on our cruise in February of 2020. And this is a picture of one of our pool parties. So we're going to take a look at the itinerary. We're also going to take a look at all the different options that we have for the cruise. But this is an idea of what our guests can expect to see in February 14th to the 19th, which is the sailing of our Temptation Caribbean Cruise 2022. If anybody can spot me in this picture, you get $50 off your next booking. So, Temptation Caribbean Cruise, it sets sail February 14th to the 19th. We will be leaving out of Miami, Florida, and we will be stopping in Nassau, Bahamas, as well as a stop in Labadee, Haiti. So on the 14th, happy Valentine's Day. This is going to be the best Valentine's gift you can give your clients, and your clients can give their significant others joining us on the cruise. So we will be joining the cruise on the 14th in Miami, Florida. We will be setting sail in the afternoon, setting sail through the evening. And on the 15th, we will arrive in beautiful Bahamas for a fun-filled day on the island. We will be setting sail in the afternoon, late afternoon, and through the evening. And the following day, we will be a one full day at sea. This will be our first pool party day. You saw the picture that I showed of one of our pool parties. So that's what our guests can expect. 100% pure fun on board now. We do have different areas on board for those clients that maybe not want to be all day at that pool party. We do have the quiet pool, which is located adjacent to the sexy pool in the solarium. So that's a nice quiet pool. People can relax, read a book, talk to some of their other fellow cruisers. And of course, there's many different areas on board that guests can also go ahead and enjoy. So once we spend a wonderful day at sea, the 17th, we will be arriving in Labadee, Haiti. And as of right now, we will be the only ship in Labadee that day. So for those clients that would like to experience the topless optional that we have on board, they'll be able to also enjoy it in Labadee on a few of the beaches that they have at the island. We will be spending a full day in Labadee, and in the evening, we will sail away for our last full day at sea, where we will have another fun-filled pool party day. We do have theme nights and theme pool parties, and we highly encourage all of our guests to participate in those. However, it is not mandatory for those that do not want to dress up in theme. And then sadly, on the 19th, we will be saying goodbye and sending everybody home, and the cruise will end as well in Miami, Florida. Now, these are the highlights that you want to make sure that you're expressing to your clients regarding the cruise. The one and the first main one that I'd love to point out is that our cruise includes the premium beverage package. So when your clients are booking the cruise, or when you're booking the cruise for your clients, the cabin pricing that they're going to get quoted already includes the premium beverage package. For those of us that are familiar with cruises, we know that typically, I know things a little bit. Some cruises are starting to offer certain things and bundles and packages that weren't offered before. But our cruise includes a premium beverage package. So every guest will have that package included. And for Celebrity, that is the highest beverage package that they have. There is no upgrade option. So we've given them the best of the best already included in the low prices that we have on our website. Okay, so that's super important to point out, especially to clients that haven't cruised before and don't realize that these beverage packages can cost them at the end of their cruise on that last day when they check their TV and they check their bill. You know, this can save them at the end of their cruise up to $700, $800 just for the beverage package. Okay, so this is definitely a plus when we're quoting our clients. For example, if we're quoting our clients an interior stateroom, the total price for an interior stateroom for 2 people is $2,100 currently. So you're looking at, you know, $1,050 per person, and that's including the premium beverage package as well as the prepaid gratuities. That's also something that's included when the client has fully paid their cabin before the cruise. The prepaid gratuities is also included, and we also know that that is something that the cruise ships charge. So at the end of the stay, that's also a charge that they would be seeing on their TV screen, which we've already included and incorporated into the price of the cabin. Okay, so those are 2 very important things to highlight to guests: the value that they're getting for a conceptual cruise with adults only, with DJs brought from all over the world, shows that we bring in on our own. The shows that they have on board are great. However, they are not temptation friendly. And because we are, an adult only cruise, we want to make sure that our shows are adult, fun, and friendly. Okay. We also have 4 dining venues that are included when the client purchases the cabin, as well as room service included. That's also a super plus. When you're on a cruise, you just don't want to go up to the restaurant for breakfast. You want to just lay in bed, pick up the phone, call room service, and it's taken care of. Okay. We also have the R-rated red room. We're going to take a look at that a little bit further down into the presentation, but I will explain for those of us that maybe are not familiar with what the R-rated red room is. We will give you a great description. Our workshops, we have great workshops. We hire our sexy attendees, as we like to call them, and they're experts in their fields, and they give workshops and seminars that are also included, no additional charge to clients on board, and they can participate or not if they want. The seminars, some of them are interactive, some of them are just listen and learn, but those are great opportunities for our guests on board to try something new, go to a seminar and, figure out how to ask for what you want in your relationship. They've got tips and tricks. They've got really, really good seminars that range from a variety of topics, and of course, all adult friendly. Our naughty pool parties, we talked a little bit about that, and we also saw a picture of one of our pool parties. These are hotspots on board, especially on our sea days. The majority of our guests do join us on our pool party, and we highly encourage our guests to join us. Our signature theme nights, we have theme nights also on board. We already have them listed on our website, so you can always direct your clients and yourselves. You can always visit our entertainment tab at our website and take a look at the theme nights that have been posted, and clients can start getting ready and their outfits ready for the cruise. 2 pools and 4 jacuzzis. Those are around the main pool area. We have daytime activities around the pool as well as throughout the ship. And of course, our amazing DJs that are hired to join us on board. Premium beverage package, we discussed this. We have a wide variety. Celebrity offers a great option and a wide variety of different brands of alcohol. Of course, this includes non-alcoholic beverages for those that may not drink alcohol. We also have all of the fancy non-alcoholic drinks that'll be available on board for our clients. I have been asked this in the past in terms of, is there a limit of how many drinks somebody can order on traditional non-chartered sailings? A lot of times the cruise ships limit, 10 drinks, 15 drinks, et cetera, et cetera. We on our charter, we don't have a limit of how many drinks someone can order. However, it is important to mention that the charter Temptation, we do follow the guidelines set by the cruise line regarding guests that maybe have had a little too much to drink. They do monitor that, so we don't restrict clients as to how many they can order, but we will restrict in terms of clients that maybe have had a little too much to drink and become a little bit disruptive. or if it causes any type of issues or danger with other clients on board, then we will kindly escort these clients back to the room for a quick nap so that they can sober up a little bit and then come back and join us for the party. Our options for dining, we have a wide variety on board of dining. We have 4 that are included. And then, of course, there are additional restaurants that clients can enjoy. The specialty restaurants that include specialty restaurants with cover charges, and they can range between $30 and $40, $45 per person. And they can order what they'd like from the menu. And of course, we have one of the restaurants that is pricing as per menu. And it's like you would go to a regular restaurant in any city. You order from the menu, and what you order is what you pay for. This is a real picture of one of our entertainment pool parties. This was our Candyland pool party last 2020, last year. And this is one of the ideas of our theme night. So this is a great image and example that our guests can use for when they're prepping and planning for the theme nights and the theme parties, pool parties. As I mentioned, we hire our own entertainment staff. We bring them on because they are familiar with our concepts. They understand what our clients like, how to interact with clients, especially when clients are topless. It's a little bit different than you would find in your traditional cruise. So we make sure that we bring our top staff to make sure that the party on board is always top notch. And we talked a little bit about our theme nights. This is also one example of our theme nights from last year's cruise. Great idea and image for clients to get ideas for future cruises. I mentioned we bring our own shows, so we hire comedians, adult friendly. We hire, this is one of the shows that we have contracted for our cruises, and they are very adult friendly. So we like to add something different to each cruise, just to give a variety and give clients great shows in the evenings to match what we do in the daytime on board. So I talked a little bit about the R-rated red room. This is a great picture of our red room in last year's 2020 cruise. Every year we'll change it up a little bit, give it a little bit of a different look. But essentially, this red room is an intimate space that we've created where our couples can enjoy the freedom to engage intimately with their significant others on board. This is a closed off area on the ship that cannot be seen by anybody passing by unless they actually enter this area. We also have highly trained staff that help monitor the entrance as well as the inside of our red room, just to make sure that the guidelines are being followed. The privacy and the safety of our guests on board is our priority. For those of us that are not familiar with what this red room is, I get asked a lot, especially to clients, how can I explain this? I hope that description can allow you guys to explain to your clients, for those that maybe are not familiar with what a red room is. Questions that I get asked a lot about this room are, can we have sex in here? The answer simply and plainly is yes. Yes, you can have sex in here. This is the intimate space that we've created. Some couples have always wanted to have sex in public. This is going to be one of the areas that they'll be able to do that. It's public in the sense that it's not in their cabin. It's not in their stateroom. It's not out at the pool. We don't allow any sex out on the pool or on the pool decks or on the sun decks. So that's why we've created space so our clients can get that feel of, being risque and trying something new and different for those clients who have never maybe experienced a red room. For those who have experienced a red room, then they know exactly what this is. This is an area where they can go and enjoy time with their partner. We are a open-minded concept in terms of the cruise, as well as our resorts. But when we're talking about the cruise, we do have clients that are on board that have different lifestyles, sexual lifestyles. And for those couples that are in the lifestyle and like to meet other couples that are also in the lifestyle, maybe they hit it off with another couple. This is one of the designated areas on board that one couple can meet another couple and enjoy intimate time together that is not in their cabin. Okay. If we have any questions regarding this, please feel free to write them down in the chat. And then if Monse hasn't had a chance to get to it, we can definitely get to it at the end of the webinar. Please do not be shy. Ask the question as you see it in your mind, because most likely your clients are also trying to figure out how to ask you the question. And at the end of the day, we just got to say it as it is. We're all adults, and we're here to enjoy a great time on board, okay? So don't be shy. I've heard it all. The website, how our website works. So when you go onto our website, and I'm sure you guys have all already visited the website, it's temptation-experience.com. You're going to be seeing the different tabs are available. So you have the tab for home, you have our resorts, and you have our cruises. You're going to click our cruises and you're going to get the little drop down menu. The first one that shows up is our Temptation Caribbean Cruise 2022. The next one that shows up is our previous cruise. This is where you can see the images that we've shown you in this webinar. This is where you can see the images. So you can use these to explain to your clients visuals of what they can expect, the fun that they can expect on board our cruise. Okay, so we're going to click the Temptation Caribbean Cruise 2022. And when we click that, we're going to get different tabs that show up: home, entertainment, ship details, rates, frequently asked questions, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to take a look at the rates section of the website. Because we are a charter and because we price our cabins slightly differently than you might be used to in a traditional cruise that's non-chartered. I'm just going to take a little bit of time here just to explain how our pricing works on our website and where you can find all the information that you need to accurately explain to your clients what our cruise has and includes. So I've selected the rates tab of the website, and you're going to see this chart that pops up. The first column on the chart lets you know the category. So the name of the cabin category. Here you'll see penthouse suite, royal suite, celebrity suite, sky suite, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The second column is the site regular pricing. So these are the regular pricing, what the cabin regularly costs. If we look at the cabin, the column right next to that, we see one that says website discounted price. That's the price that that's the promotions that we currently have going on right now. So that's the column that you would be using to quote your clients in terms of the cabin, okay? So right now we're going to take a look at, for this example, we're going to take a look at the veranda stateroom, and it tells me that the veranda stateroom right now is at $2,250, which means that if I was to book today, I'd be saving $865 from the regular pricing. Okay, so that fourth column that we have is the book and save. That lets you know how much your client is going to be saving if they book today at the prices we have today, as opposed to the regular prices. Okay. If we take a look, we notice that the Royal Suite has already, the discounted price has already been taken away. It's back to regular pricing right now. So when the cabins start selling, and when they start picking up, which they have, very happy to announce within the last 2.5 months, we have had an amazing pickup for our cruises. And that has a lot to do with, of course, the return of cruising. The CDC has finally lifted that. And so the cruises will be returning to sail this summer, which has definitely given a lot of our clients the incentive to start booking their cabins before the prices start going up, and of course before the cabin categories get sold out. Okay, and then that fifth column that we see, it says maximum capacity. That's telling me the maximum number of clients that I can book in that cabin. So if I take a look at the veranda, it has 3 bodies there. That means that there's maximum 3 people that can be booked into the veranda stateroom. If we're looking for 4 people, then we're going to have to look for a cabin that has 4 people. And as of right now, those 2 cabins are the penthouse, which is sold out, and the royal suite. Okay, so that one should be pretty self-explanatory. If there's 2 bodies, 2 people. Okay, and then of course, last but not least, that column is that select. When we're ready to see the options that we have available, where the cabins are located, we're going to click that book now button, and it's going to take us to the next screen, which is going to be a very easy to use diagram of the ship, the deck plans, and the cabins that are available with descriptions of the cabins. Okay. Now, These prices that we see here, are they per person? Are they per cabin based on double occupancy? So the correct answer for the website discounted price, for the website regular price is these rates are in USD starting, number one, and these are per cabin based on single and or double occupancy. So what does that mean? That means that the veranda stateroom, if I'm going by myself because I don't have anybody to go with and I'd like to travel on my own and I don't need somebody to travel with, I'm going to pay $22.50 for this cabin plus my port fee, which we're going to take a look at in the next screen. Okay. Now, if I do have somebody, if I say, Monse, she's going to come with me and we're going to go on the cruise together, we're going to pay for that cabin $22.50 plus our port fees. Okay. So whether one person or two people are going, the price that we see in the website, that's what they're going to pay. We do not have a single supplement. As a charter sailing, we have commitments with the cruise line. And so unfortunately, we cannot price the cabins lower if there's one person going on the cruise, okay? Now, if I was on the website and I was to scroll down below this chart, I'm going to see this wonderful information that shows up that tells me that the rates are subject to change and are based on the current availability. I need to select the book now and go to the final booking screen just to 100% verify that that cabin is available and that pricing is 100% still available. We always try and make sure that all the rates are accurate throughout the full website. However, we're not, we are human and there are errors. So the screen, the final screen that we will also take a look at, that is the final price that will be valid at the time of booking, okay? It also lets me know rates are listed above are per cabin quoted in USD and based on single and or double occupancy. All rates above also include the premium beverage package, which is what we talked about earlier, but it's just a reminder if we forget because we sell so many different products, we can't remember if temptation included or not, we have it listed there for you as well, okay? It also tells me that there is a deposit to secure for the cabin. Currently, the deposit is $500 for the deposit. And then we have 3 payment dates, July, September, and November, okay? It also lets me know that the surcharges here, the port fees are $350 USD per person for staterooms and $400 USD per person for all suites. And these surcharges cover the port charges, taxes, document fees, the prepaid gratuities that we spoke about, administration, and of course, security fees. Now, for those cabins that do allow a third and or a fourth passenger, we do have third and fourth passenger rates. This is exactly the same place you will be able to find it. Just underneath the chart where it had the cabins for 3 and for 4 people, it tells me here that if we wanted to add a third person to our cabin, mine and Monse's, we're going to take a third person on our cabin, we're going to have to add $725 for that third person plus their port fee. Okay, so it was the $22.50 for me and for Monse plus the $725 for that third person, and then we're going to add our $350 port fees per person for that stateroom. Okay. Now, I know you're thinking like, oh my gosh, hold on a sec. I have to manually put this out. No, you don't. We're going to go on to the next screen. And this is what shows up when I click that book now button on the veranda because I want that veranda. So I click the veranda and it's going to take me to one of the decks. Okay. On the left-hand side, we're actually going to see the ship with all the different decks that are available. That green check mark says I can be booked. That red X says I'm already booked, okay? On the right side of the screen and on our website, you're gonna see the breakdown, a brief description of the cabins that are actually on that deck. So if I'm looking for a penthouse, but I'm on deck 10 and I don't see on the right side the penthouse listed with that brief description, then that means that there is no penthouse on deck 10. It does not exist, okay? Even if the cabin is sold out, we will still have the description there so that you are aware and our clients are aware that there is a penthouse on this deck. So if we don't see the description, it does not exist on that deck, okay? No need to email us, no need to call us and say, hey, I'm looking for a penthouse on deck 10. It's not there, okay? So on the right side, we're seeing a wonderful little description of what the penthouse is, just so that we don't have to, go back to the website and look under ship details. It also lets us know the square feet of the actual suite. It lets me know the veranda, what the square feet of the veranda is. It let me know what deck it's located on, and of course the maximum occupancy. So here it tells me that the penthouse is located on deck 6, period. If you're looking for a penthouse, that's the deck that you have to look for, okay? If we look just below the concierge class, it tells me, oh, hold on a sec, that concierge class is available on deck 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, we have more options here, okay? So we know that if we go to any one of those decks, we should be able to find the concierge class unless it's currently sold out, okay? Now, if I, just below the picture that we're seeing on the right side, it has a hyperlink that says, click here to view floor plans. If I click on that hyperlink, it's gonna give me the floor plan, the layout of that cabin. It's a very, very good tool to use, especially when clients are familiar with cruises and they are familiar with sizing. It's a great tool to have, and these are all downloadable. You can use them and you can send them to emails. Excuse me. Sorry, little water break. So these are all, you can all use these, and you can copy the pictures as well. If you want to send quotes to your clients via email, that's all available directly on the website as well, okay? Now, if I was to select one of the cabins, if I was to hover my mouse over one of the cabins that are on the left side, this is what's going to show up. You're going to get one of two options. I've hovered my mouse over cabin 6033. If we look at the picture, it says 6033 has a green check mark. That's because it's available. So when I hover my mouse, that little box that shows up where it says cabin 633 available, that's what's going to show up. And it's going to remind me what the category is. It's going to remind me that it's 3 people max. And it's also going to remind me the price of the cabin before the port fees, which is what we saw on the chart under the rates, okay, $22.50. And then it says per cabin per stay. And then I can click the cabin, or I can just click that, just click to book. And it'll take me to the next screen, which is our booking screen, okay? Now, I also did I put a little example of when a cabin is booked. So I put my mouse over 6027, and we see that that has a red X. And so it's going to tell me it's a veranda, it's got 3 people, it's going to tell me the price, but it's not going to give me the option to click anymore and book. Okay, so we can click all day, nothing's going to happen. Okay, then it's pretty self-explanatory there as well. So I've selected the cabin because I want to book it, and it's going to take me to this recap screen. Okay. So this screen on the left side, on the right side, it gives me, again, just a little bit of a brief description, just so I'm reminded what's in that veranda. And then on the left side, it's going to give me the breakdown. So the first thing that we notice, it says, please note, cruise plan protection of $220 has been included in your deposit covering expenses related to medical emergencies. Our cruises starting in 2022 do have the travel protection as an option. Now, it has automatically been calculated in the total price. If the client or you do not want to purchase the travel protection because you can get it or they have it somewhere else, all they got to do is click that big button that says quote again without plan protection, and that $220 will be taken away from the total that's listed in this screen, okay? So as of right now, we're going to go with the client does want to get the travel protection, and that travel protection, as we see there, is for 2 people, okay? So it reminds me, this screen, that it's the Temptation cruise that we're booking. It reminds me again that it's the veranda stateroom that we're booking. And it tells me the cabin that I selected. I selected 6018. That's the one I want. It also tells me that there's 2 adults and there's a maximum of 3. Now, you don't have to manually calculate it if you don't want to. That the next line lets me add that 3rd person to the cabin. So I'm going to select from the drop-down menu the number 1 that's going to show up, and I'm going to click that add button, and it's going to recalculate my totals to add that 3rd person and their port fees to my cabin. Right now, we're just keeping it at 2 people for this cabin, okay? It reminds me of the dates of the cruise in case we've forgotten. It reminds me on this screen that it's the 14th to the 19th, 6 days and 5 nights. And then it tells me that my total is $24.70. With my surcharges for 2 people, it's $31.70. Again, this includes the $220 for the travel protection, okay? Now, I discussed and I said that the deposit right now is $500. That is still correct. Because this client has chosen to add the travel protection, those $220 are included in the initial deposit. Why? Because it's a travel protection. If you're purchasing travel protection, it has to be bought at the time of booking in order to include the trip cancellation, okay? So it's been added, so the deposit will be $720. And then, of course, we have those 3 payment dates that we talked about, July, September, November. and the payments are divided equally among the dates. So the total minus the deposit leaves me my balance. We've divided that by 3 and we've made it equal 3 payments, okay? There is also an option for guests that would like to pay monthly. That's also an option. So just below this screen, the option to pay monthly is also available for clients. So their initial deposit will still be the $720. And then their balance would be split between monthly payments to end in November, as November is our final and last payment date. Because we are a charter, we have different financial commitments than a regular non-chartered cruise. So we cannot have our final payment date 30 days out from the cruise, which is traditional in a non-chartered setting, okay? So I just wanted to point it out because sometimes I get asked why in November, and that's exactly why. The financial commitments that we have as a charter are different, all righty? Now, I mentioned that the option to click monthly payments. So if I was to click here, it would give me, it would give us the breakdown of the monthly payments spread out between July, August, September, October, and November, which would be 5 months. This screenshot, we apologize, it's a few months back, but basically it calculates from the time of the booking until the last payment date available. Okay, so then this would be where we enter our clients, we enter their information in our affiliates link. I have also been asked about the bedding, why we ask about the bedding, if there should be 2 twin beds or 1 queen bed. The reason we ask that is the cruise line has requested that for us as a charter. That way they can have everything prepped and ready to go for when clients are on board based on the bedding that they would need for the charter. Okay, so that's simply the reason why we ask for if they want 2 beds together or if they want them separate, okay? And then, of course, last but not least, when the booking is confirmed, this is the, you get a confirmation with, of course, the confirmation number for the cabin. This is my information. If you guys have any in-depth questions regarding the cruises, regarding the operation of the cruise, please feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have regarding the actual cruise and the operations of the cruise. Things that maybe clients have asked you and you're not sure how to answer and you haven't been able to find on our website, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to assist in answering any of those questions regarding our cruises. Once.
Okay, and please, if you need any material about the hotels or the cruises, don't forget to go to the media.original/group.com and you can download all the information in there. Silvina, there's a question.
Awesome.
What if they want to pay everything, no little by little?
Oh, well, of course, I accept payments right away. We definitely accept, of course, if somebody wants to pay the balance, if they want to pay the cabin in full at the time of booking, that's of course 100% accepted. We do not have an additional discount if they decide to pay all at once. Because at the end of the day, we've given the payment dates based on the financial commitments we have with the cruise line. So if it's easy for them to pay everything at once because they don't want to have to worry about the next payment date, which I get this question asked a lot as well by clients. I don't want to have to forget about a payment. I just rather pay everything now. That is 100% available. It's important to note that the cancellation policy still applies. Okay, so if they paid in full and they cancel the cruise, then the cancellation policy will still apply based on the date that they cancel. That will be the penalty will be based on the date that they canceled. Okay, so but yes, they can definitely pay all at once. Not a problem. Accepted.
Okay, and then could you please explain again about the port fees?
The port fees. Sure. So the port fees are mandatory fees that the cruise line asks for. And so those port fees for staterooms, they're $350 per person and $400 for suites per person. And those are added at on the final screen of our booking. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back a bit here, just so we can see that again. So here on our screen where it says total, before the brackets, it gives me the cabin total, and then within the brackets, it's already included the surcharges, the port fees in this case. I'm not sure if that's the question, if I answered the question.
Yeah, actually, she's asking about how much is for two people, or and for the stateroom, how much it was.
Okay, so yeah, so the staterooms that you can, staterooms are 350 and suites are 400 for the port fees. And you can always find this information on our rates page just under the chart. You'll have this information listed here as well, so you can always reference it.
Okay, and well, I don't know if anyone has any more questions. Let's give just 2 more minutes. Let me check. I think I answered all the questions, Silvina, and
I'm going to mention one more thing, actually. I apologize, I didn't. In terms of protocols, currently, right now, the protocols that will be set for our charter have not been sent to us by the cruise line. The protocols that Celebrity has right now are for the cruises that are setting sail this summer. This may change, this may not change. In terms of vaccination, if it's going to be 100% vaccinated cruise, that also right now has not been determined for our charter next year, February. We have asked the cruise line if there's any information they can give us, but because things are changing day to day, restrictions have loosened up. You know, things that they were asking a month and a half ago are not being asked now. So, and that goes by the CDC, that goes by government. And there's a lot of things that are also changing depending on where the cruise leaves from, what port it arrives into. So as of right now, we do not have specific protocols for the cruise. The only thing we can say is book your cabin. Travel protection has always been important, even pre-pandemic. A lot of clients, you know, they're always, no, I don't need it until you do. So it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, has always been my motto. I've been traveling for many, many years, like I know a lot of you also have. And yes, it's an expense, but at the end of the day, God forbid anything happens, you've got that protection that you can use in any events. Okay. And I'm not talking pandemic, I'm talking just general. It's always good to have travel protection. With protocols, as soon as they give us more concrete information regarding our charter, we will 100%, of course, communicate that with all of our partners, our affiliates, our agents, as well as, of course, our booked clients, so that they can take the necessary precautions that they need to take. So I just wanted to mention that if people did have any doubts or questions about that.
yes, actually, there was two last questions about the COVID restrictions. And one more thing, Silvina, could you please show the ship again?
The the deck plan or which ship?
No, just the big image about the boat.
I'm sorry? Which one? This one?
I'm sorry, I put it on mute. Just the cruise, the whole cruise.
Is that what we're talking about? As Monse mentioned, on the media site, you can find all of the pictures, all of the images, all of the photos, all of the videos. You can find that on that media.original group site, and you can download all the pictures that you need for your websites or for your newsletters. You can find fact sheets. Everything is located in this media link.
I think that's all, Silvina. We answered all the questions.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us this afternoon. I hope that you were able to get some great information, and the prices that we have listed on our website right now, they are, as of right now, they're running until July 6th. So if you have clients that have been asking or are interested, I highly recommend, let's get out some newsletters to them, send out information to your database, and take advantage of the extreme low pricing that we have going on right now for the cabins that we have available. Thank you guys very much. Monse, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Silvina, and thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week with our Desire Cruises webinar.